Welcome to Talking Treble number 2. This time, we have it planned out, we've learned from our mistakes, and we have an outline.
Yes.
What do you have to add?
I think we should just do a quick introduction. It's just more formal, so I'm Alex.
And I'm Eli, yeah.
Yeah, and this is Talking Treble episode 2.
Yep. And we have an outline of everything we're going to cover today. Music-related news comes first. So, let's begin by talking about the first thing on the agenda.
The Hastings has filed for bankruptcy. I'm not quite sure which form of bankruptcy, because I know there's
it's Chapter 11.
Chapter 11 bank. And what does that entail exactly?
It means that they can... They basically put the business up for sale, but they can still keep it running, essentially.
I see.
That's the idea.
So, I know you explained it to me earlier, but what exactly does that mean for the future of Hastings?
It's up for sale for somebody to buy. We can still access it, but that's about it.
But realistically, will Hastings still be a thing?
I assume they're probably going to close down the ones that aren't doing so well, which is our favorite Hastings here in town.
The Hastings where ICP, the Insane Clown Posse, was supposed to visit.
Yeah.
And they never ended up showing up.
Yeah. Let's get our... Let's see. Should have done this when we started. Alright, there we go. Alright. And then moving on to the next piece of news. So we have the 50th anniversary release of the Pet Sounds album by the Beach Boys. I don't know what exactly they did to make it good.
I mean, they already remastered. There's already a remastered version of Pet Sounds prior, but I don't know. They had both the stereo and the mono versions of the album, so maybe that's what they did. I feel like they had that before, but it might just be in a current update. They just remastered it with the new technology. It sounds good, but I really couldn't tell the difference between this album and the previous remastered version of Pet Sounds.
Yeah, it's a good album. It's a good album. They're just trying to squeeze a few more dollars out of it, probably. In other news, we have the new album from Radiohead, released, I don't know how long ago, 2 months ago?
About 2 months, maybe 3.
It was May 8th. Yeah, it was released on May 8th, I think. It's a pretty good album. We're going to be talking about it later in more depth. And then we have... Radiohead being on Spotify. You know more about this.
That's true, yeah. So, there's a lot of these artists that are kind of about creative, intellectual property and stuff, and they don't like Spotify. Taylor Swift, Radiohead, I think the band Tool, also have been we don't like it. But Radiohead recently published 2 of their albums. Their newest one, Moon-Shaped Pool, and In Rainbows, In Rainbows, which was that was interesting. I never knew, but they gave that album practically out for free. I think they uploaded it on Bandcamp, and it was the pay what you want service, which is kind of interesting. You don't usually see bands with already a kind of, I don't know, commercial presence do that. So that was interesting, and it was good to see them on Spotify, because I like Spotify and I advocate for it.
Except that they don't pay their
they pay very little money.
I think why they didn't want to go on Spotify, even though Tom York is well off with his riches.
Well, it's not. I mean, I guess it is about the money, but at the end of the day, it's kind of
I think maybe they're just trying to say that because they don't treat other smaller artists as well.
Sure, because the smaller artists don't have the voice necessarily to, I guess, carry that message, or at least the message to the extent that Radiohead can.
Right.
Because they're already established. But yeah, that's basically all that we have for that.
Yeah, and this one's very belated news. Keith Emerson's dead. I don't know. He's pretty good.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Did he have a family or anything like that?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they're probably old and stuff, but
yeah, I mean, that's fine. I think he probably had a kid or something. I don't know, but he's dead. He killed himself because of surgery with his hands. He played the keyboard in the band Emerson, Lake and Palmer. He was unable to play the keyboard well after surgeries and thought, you know what, let me just kill myself because I can't supply for my fans anymore.
Yeah.
Which is...
I was thinking, I mean, maybe there were other things going on. That's kind of unusual and off-putting news. It's like, oh wow, it kind of makes you wonder, like, what was, because I mentioned this before, but they did a reunion concert like in 2012 sometime recent.
It was terrible.
It was not that. I mean, it was cool to see them, but
at their ripe old ages. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have advocated it, but you know what?
It's sad though.
Yeah,
sad. I mean, he was like
he's a fantastic keyboard player.
Probably one of the best, one of the greats. As in prog rock.
In compared to Neil Peart for drums, but keyboard.
Sure.
Because of its creativity. Gucci Mane.
Gucci Mane released from prison
finally.
A month ago, 2 months ago.
You know more about it tonight.
Yeah, I think sometime, probably I'd say 1.5 months. Gucci Mane was released from prison. Now I think he was supposed to be released from prison like 4 months from now or something like that.
Sure.
And he got released early.
Yeah. And good job, Gucci.
You can follow him on Snapchat at Guwop Snap. GUWOP Snap, and there's a kind of dumb conspiracy, but I find it funny, of that the new Gucci Mane is a clone. Is not the same Gucci Mane as we've known before, because he lost considerable amount of weight when he was in prison.
Right.
He's notorious for having those gold-plated grills.
Did you see in the picture? Yeah, and they were missing.
And the ice cream cone. You can't really see it that well.
It's on his other. He has an ice cream cone on his other cheek right there. And it's gone. It's disappeared after his prison experience, and it's a little weird. But there's no reason for the government to be involved in this.
To clone Gucci Mane.
Yeah, he's a popular rapper, but it's not like he said anything to promote conspiracy or anything. He's just well. I mean, it's Gucci. It's Gucci Mane. We no longer have to say free Gucci, which is good. So moving on to Viper the rapper. Some people might know about. He was admitted to the hospital for I
believe it was ammonia infection, but I don't think that's actually what it is anymore, because as time has progressed, he's still in the hospital.
He's in the hospital, and last we checked, he was admitted for surgery. I haven't really looked at the news in like a week, but apparently, yeah.
But this is all coming from like his girlfriend, wife on Twitter. This picture that you see.
Okay, here we have an update on the Twitter. He had 2 chest tubes removed, whatever that means.
Chest tubes.
He's looking better than he did. Look at that.
He's looking alright.
He's looking good. So, you know, he lived through the surgery, but he's still in the hospital. So, yeah, that's sad for all of the fans of Viper, the rapper. He still has not.
Is comical though.
Yeah, he still has not paid me for the editing work I've done.
That'll be a good album cover. Hasn't he used that picture for an album? Oh, no, it's too early.
This is new. Yeah. This is like he's been in the hospital the whole
right.
time. So now we're going to move on to the next section, which is which we looked at several different albums. I listened to an album I haven't listened to. Alex listened to one, and then we both listened to an album, and we're going to come to our conclusions on that. So, I listened to Kid A by Radiohead, and then we both listened to Fishman's Long Season and Radiohead, A Moon-Shaped Pool, and then you listened to... What did you listen to?
I listened to PFM, the band PFM. I don't know, does that stand for anything?
It does.
It's something
It
Italian.
translates to Award-Winning Macaroni Factory.
Award with PFM, award-winning. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I listened to their album Per Un Amico.
It's something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's Italian. It's progressive.
Progressive rock.
So, I'm going to start off with my review of Kid A. I didn't think it was that good. Everyone said it's good. I find it kind of boring to sit through. There are parts where it's good, yeah. It's just, they don't stick. Like, I don't remember those parts of the album. I listened to it like 4 times, and it still kind of was a little cumbersome to get through. I mean, there's like nice catchy bits and stuff, but they just don't seem to stick. I don't know.
Well, what about like the mood? Would you argue that this is like a really moody album kind of?
Yeah, I feel like even though there's some upbeat parts, it still feels really ambient and background-esque.
Sure.
And it's all right. I'd probably have to listen to it like a dozen more times to get anywhere with it.
Same thing. I for one love Kid A, so I'm slightly offended that
I know you are, because I really like OK
bit.
Computer, but I still haven't found the appreciation for Kid A. And overall, I'm sure it's a good album. I just haven't found it.
I don't know if you'd call it this. I don't know if I'd call it a step down. I don't know if I'd call it a step up either, because this album was released after OK Computer. I wouldn't call it a step up, and I wouldn't call it a step. I'd call it like a step in a new direction, like a side step.
For me, it's a step down, but
Sure.
I understand what you're saying.
Sure, yeah, but
It's just different.
the songwriting is definitely a lot more memorable and catchy. An OK Computer, I would say. It has a lot of very
More radio,
more in your
friendly.
face, a little bit more energetic parts to it.
Yeah.
Makes you more attentive. But Kid A has some interesting parts. The first song,
I like the first song.
everything in its right place.
It's an eerie sounding song. I like it. I think it starts it off good, but then everything else is like different.
And it's very some of the better songs on the album are the simpler ones, like the first track.
Yeah.
A very simple
Yeah.
national anthem. That's the one with the it's not the third track. It's the one with the bass line, and it gets progressively more and more instrumentation added onto it. There's that one, and then there's also like kind of like really average Radiohead rock,
Yes.
more rock sounding kind of. Those aren't really that memorable.
But for whatever reason, when I go to look back at the album, that is not what I remember.
What do you remember?
I just remember it being boring. I listen to it and I think about it and I realize it's not boring to listen to, but when I go to think back at it, it seems like a boring album.
No, I can see that actually.
And I don't think I've listened to it enough to ingrain it in my mind that it's good. So, let's move on to PFM. What did you listen to?
We want to change the next, yeah.
Alright.
Actually, it's the Fishman, so
Well,
we're
we'll
going to
just
talk
talk about. I think we'll go both sides.
Okay, so I listened to PFM Puerto Rico, and first things first, I really, really liked this album cover.
It's a cool album cover.
It's surreal. It's just like it's what I would expect.
It's like
kind
a
of.
museum almost.
Yeah.
But there's a sky.
It's kind of like, it's only that album cover that you only kind of get with like 70s prog almost. Like it's just kind of special.
But it's not as dark as most of them. It's like kind of uplifting. You're in the sky.
And that's what the album actually looks like. It's very.
It looks like
colorful,
the album cover. Yeah.
Bright. I'd call it symphonic orchestral
It is
prog.
symphonic. Yes.
And it's just. I was conflicted for a little bit, but at the end of the day, I can say it's solid. You know, on Prog Archives, how they have the ratings.
Yes.
It's the 4 stars out of 5, where it's an excellent addition to any prog.
It's a little step above. It's on it's like number 10 or something on their list of best albums of all time under the
I didn't know that.
genre. There's like 50. It's between 1 and 15, and that's why I listened to it, which got me into the entire Italian prog subgenre. Which there's a lot of good stuff, and
There's
they
a
all
lot
kind
of
of
good
sound
stuff.
like this,
and
and
then, I
they're
don't
all
think
great.
anything's quite as refined or
Yeah,
robust
this is the most like clean and
Italian prog record
yeah.
I've ever listened to.
It's a good summary of everything that there is. And I don't know. I listened to it once and I was kind of bored with it, but then I listened to it again and
gosh.
thought about it,
Yeah.
and it's just like every song's its own symphonic melody.
It's got like great songwriting, like as far as like the guitar playing and stuff, the melodies.
Yeah.
Really memorable, really catchy.
Of course, it's in Italian, so we don't know.
It's
what they're
Italian.
saying,
There's a
but it works as an instrument, sure.
there's Spanish guitar parts with vocals, kind of
Yeah.
like breakdowns, and Spanish guitar is pretty. I love listening to that. They have flutes, they have string instruments, they have violins going on. They'll have some wacky synths every
Yeah.
once in a while, and then they have like this. It's really short, but they have this guitar
like
tone.
30-something minutes.
This guitar tone that's very memorable, and I wish I could imitate it, but I'd butcher it. But it's about halfway through the song, and it's just really powerful. Let's see. It does a good job of like pacing itself as far as tempo, how fast
Yeah.
and how slow, and also like dynamically, like how it gets loud and how it gets softer. Like you'll get
Yeah.
loud parts, like in the second track where I keep sounding.
You
I
said
keep
it's like
referencing like King Crimson,
Yeah.
something where it's very energetic in your face, memorable guitar riff.
Like it always, whenever I hear that song in the album, I like dread to listen to it, but then after I'm done with it, it's
Mhm.
good. It was good.
It was good. It's enjoyable.
Yeah.
And then it has the slower parts with the Spanish guitar and the Italian vocals. Mm-hmm. Those are always nice. And it has like those. There's a lot of stuff.
It picks up and then it.
There's like a lot of stuff to keep you interested. Yeah. Tonally, I mean, like with instruments, like it's not like
it's very dense. It like they packed for the 30 some odd minutes that it is. They cut out all the boring stuff, and they kept it good.
I really like the fact 'cause it's like, it is kind of like a, maybe not too much, but it is like a hidden gem almost.
Yeah, because nobody's going to listen to it because it's in Italian. I was off put by it.
Surprising how good it is, actually. Like, it almost kind of helps it out.
Yeah.
In its current status. It makes it like, whoa, this is actually not that bad. And then when you listen to it more, like, whoa, this holds up with other, massive prog album, like, what's the name of the Genesis one? I love Selling England by the Pound.
Close to the Edge.
Close to the Edge.
It's up there with
it's totally up there. I can confidently say. I don't know if it's my favorite.
It's just its own. Well, I mean, Italian prog is a subgenre of its own, and it has this kind of symphonic feel to it. But all these, I do recommend some of the other ones.
It's anyway, pretty.
Let's move on to the albums that we both listened to. We'll start off with Radiohead: A Moon-Shaped Pool, since we mentioned that earlier.
Okay. So I listened to Moon-Shaped Pool last night. Final time I sat through it all. I was doing something while I was doing it, but I listened to it enough. So
I did the night before last in bed.
And you know what? Good album.
It's a good album. I don't know if I like it as much as when I first listened to it, but it's still really good.
There are some songs on there that lose their edge to them really fast.
Yeah, they aren't complicated enough sometimes. Mm-hmm. I think like other album like OK Computer, very complicated instrumentation, but not so much in this. But still, it's really good.
So, yeah, I'd say some of the weakest parts of this are the more straightforward songs.
Where it's just
I'm not sure if you'll recall them, but The Numbers is one where The Numbers is very straightforward. Yeah, it sounds good. It's not any means a bad song, but there's less going on within it, so on repeat listens it gets alright. But yeah, there's Full Stop was a song that had an issue of repeating itself over and adding more and more as the song progressed. And I didn't like that at first, but like you said, because it's such a dense song, I end up liking it more as time goes on, while the more stripped down songs of the album I end up liking less.
Right.
Yeah, so...
Right. But I think we can agree that we both like the first track. Is that still your favorite? That's still my favorite. Even though it's kind of straightforward too, so it's kind of... But it's how they add things on top. It has all the ranges. You have that kind of jarring but still mildly relaxing repetitive orchestral noise, and then the electronic beats coming in. It's always in the background. And it's really well layered and done. It's unique. I've never heard like a symphonic to that degree, and like just like a graining almost electronic noise in the background. Yeah, they're well integrated. It's not just like an orchestral piece with rock or electronic rock or something on top of it. They're put together very well. Second track, Daydreaming. That's also my second favorite. Yeah, it's amazing how I think they do a good balance, because in the track Daydreaming, it's very lush, but it's also kind of ambient. And the issue I have with ambient is that there's not enough going on to keep my attention, to keep me interested. You have to do something else. But it just works, kind of. It picks up enough to keep you interested. There's kind of a difference between having space and boring people to death, if that makes sense. And I think they found the right balance in between there. Yeah, but as it goes on, I think it gets a little... It can get grating. A little dry. It's the same... but it's good. It's just... I don't know, like I listened to it a few more times and it just wasn't as good as the first time I listened to it. Mm-hmm. Or the first time I actually sat down and thought about everything I was listening to. Just because it's good, but I don't think it's as creative as it could have been. What you see is what you get. Yeah. If you notice it, it's arpeggio. It's chords played individually, note by note, and the entire song is just the melody behind it. Yeah. And it's kind of a one-trick pony in a way, and that's what Yeah.
I can see where you're coming from.
Like, OK Computer, I had to listen to it a bunch of times to actually like it.
There's a lot going on.
But this, you can listen to the first time and like it, which is why it kind of gets boring after repeated listens. But OK Computer is almost timeless because of that. Anything else?
I'm trying to think of more songs that stick out for me.
I don't have the track list memorized at all.
There's Full Stop, which is the one with the bass line, and it progressively adds more and more.
Mm-hmm.
It's the longest song. It's the energetic one. It's about like the sixth
right.
track. It's a good change of pace.
Yeah.
That's why I appreciate it. And
yeah,
the last few songs. Also, I don't know if have you ever like gone into lyrics of Radiohead songs?
Not for this album, no.
You know, Tom York's he writes some good lyrics.
Yeah,
and
they're obscure, but once you, I guess, identify the theme, they all have a theme or a very straightforward event. But the way Tom York writes them is very, I don't know what you would call it, complex, I guess. How it's presented?
Yeah, how it's presented. But there's a lot of cool lyrical themes going on this. And I don't usually care.
I haven't looked at it, yeah.
Like, do you usually care about what the words and vocals mean?
Not for these kinds of albums, no. I mean, like, ones that I'm, like, really, really
Concept albums.
Concept albums, yeah. And then just ones that I'm, like, that are my favorite.
Sure,
I'll look, just because I'm interested to analyze them or what have you. But, yeah, I mean, it's a good album. I mean, what would you give it?
I'd give it... I don't know if I'd give it a rating. I'd say it's the best Radiohead album since Kid A. Everything that they... Oh, actually, I don't know. I think I like In Rainbows a little bit more than this.
Yeah, I haven't listened to that in a really long time, so I can't say. But I think it's... When did In Rainbows come out?
2007? 8? Or no, 2011... No, I can't remember. I can't tell you. 2000... Some late 2000s.
Okay.
I know that for sure.
All right. Well, I mean, it's good. I mean, I don't really listen to any music that comes out now. This is the only thing I probably listen to that has come out within, like, the past 5 years. So I can say that it's good for what it is, especially at this time.
They've been around for, like, 20 years almost, Radiohead, as a band.
Yeah.
And, like, this is kind of even remarkable considering the fact that they've been around.
And Tom York looks like...
Death. He looks like a little
very soggy man. So the fact that he was able to get inaudible noise through that sunken face is
it's impressive.
It's a technological feat. So on to the Fishman's Long Season, Japanese group.
Psychedelic pop.
It's kind of it's more poppy, but it's not like something you'd hear on the radio. But it's pop in the sense of how it catches you in the music. It's good. But it's not... It's kind of bland.
I've been back and forth on this album.
I listened to it last night again and sat through it, and I realized it's like... First two tracks, very good at starting it off, and then it just has that kind of random noises and stuff, like they just got bored, and they need to stick something in there, and then they finished it off. And then it's great. It's like it catches your attention for the first bit, and then it gets really boring, and then it turns into more of an ambient, but it's not really ambient because there's like harsh noises, or harsher than an ambient album. I don't know.
Yeah, you know what? I agree with you. The parts where it's less focused, kind of more spacey, I don't like. But the first part, where essentially, if you haven't listened to it, it's not even really. I mean, it's an album, but it doesn't feel like it just feels like a long song. Yeah, there's a melody. There's a main melody.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Yeah. It has this little melody that repeats
throughout various times.
Yeah,
and then they add and take things out,
and it works well. But I think they could have stripped it down a little more.
I think so, and made it a little bit more focused because there are parts where it feels like we need to fill up time.
Yeah.
So
if they cut out the just random noises in the middle of the album. I don't even remember exactly how it goes, but I remember that it wasn't that interesting. If they just cut out that stuff that they added purely, at least I think they probably just added it for filler, it would be good. But it wouldn't be as long. How long is it? It's like 35 minutes
35 minutes, yeah. 34.
So, I mean, of course, you want it to be the length of an album, like 30, 40 minutes, but you wouldn't have heard if it were 25.
I would have preferred if it was a 20-minute song and they cut out.
If it were just a 20-minute song, it would work very well.
And I don't know, if they could fill up a B-side with a bunch of random stuff to pad it out, but if it was just a
25 minutes, maybe,
single song, I'd love that. That'd be great.
It would work well. Maybe we should edit that ourselves.
I guess we could make our own cut.
We could do that. But yeah, I mean, it's good to listen to in the background, and it's reasonably captivating. It's a step above regular ambient music because it has something recognizable happening in it. Like in an ambient, it's just different noises in this. There's something going on that's recognizable, and so it's a little bit more exciting background music to have.
Good album cover.
It's a good album cover.
And plus, it kind of gets a pass because it's from Japan.
That makes it, because Japan doesn't. They have bad jazz fusion that's interesting only because it's from Japan.
Exactly.
And
I totally agree.
I mean, I'm not huge with Japan's music, but I like it only because it's from Japan.
The only reason I suggested we listen to it was because it was from Japan. If this was from anywhere else, I would have been like, eh.
It's because this is something that would be dreadfully European, but it isn't. It's Japanese, so it's good.
So it kind of gets a break on it.
Right.
But
right.
At the end of the day, the music, it's good background noise. It's what good. I would rate it.
Yeah,
good background
it's
noise
above
10.
Yeah. There's not really any vocals, are there? It's just
there are vocals. There's
there are, but you don't understand them, so it works out fine.
They speak Japanese, or were they just inaudible? I mean, not inaudible.
I don't remember. I think it was Japanese, but I'm not
incoherent.
Yeah. Whatever it was, I think it still works well in the background, because usually you don't want lyrics in the background if you're working on something, but there isn't.
But at the end of the day, it doesn't take itself too seriously, which is nice. It's fun, good background noise. It's pleasant to listen to.
Yeah.
Maybe it could have been a little bit more focused. Maybe it could have added a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah.
I recommend it, though.
Yeah, I do recommend it. It's an interesting album to listen to if you ever want to do that. All right. Cool. So we have anything else to add about these albums that we've listened to?
I don't really. I just want to put more emphasis. I really like the PFM album.
Yeah. That's all I listened to for a month.
It's great. I can still listen to it right now. I've listened to it about 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, it's you can listen to it and it doesn't get boring because
except for that second song.
Except for the second song, which I still dread to listen to because I know it's coming up, but then it's fine after I'm done with it.
But
it gets decent. At the end section, it's pretty good. But it's still a very good album. I'd give it a good rating. I do recommend listening to it, and then we can maybe go into some other Italian albums some other time. So already we have reached our first break in the program. So we're going to be back in about 5 minutes time. Please enjoy this white screen. Thank you. Welcome back. We have a segment that we're going to call the Grab Bag, in which we're going to look at and talk about several different random things, music related or not. We're going to start off with music.
Yeah,
So a few randy things.
Kodak Black. I want to talk about
Kodak Black. I know nothing about Kodak Black.
Kodak Black released. He's a rapper. He got famous off the internet.
Yeah.
I like his name, Kodak Black, the Finesse Kid. I really like that.
The full title.
The Finesse Kid.
The Finesse Kid.
The full title is Lil Kodak Black, the Finesse Kid. And he's a bad rapper, but I really like Kodak Black, and I just wanted to talk about him. That's it.
What's notable about him? What's his theme of music?
He's rap, but it's kind of a thing in rap music to rap about things that you don't do.
Yeah, just to promote yourself.
I shoot guns, I kill people, I drive. But he's the type of person that has probably actually killed people.
Okay.
So that's...
Is there any story about his name?
Kodak. I just probably thought it sounded cool.
It does sound cool. I mean, we'll give it that.
There's a lot of goofy rap names out there.
Lil Gucci.
Young Sachi. Lil Boozy.
Lil Boozy. Yeah, Lil Boozy. But they're all the same in my mind.
Essentially.
I mean, there's nothing that really sets them apart.
It all started with Young Lean. I think Young Lean started
because it's like ridiculous, but it's still cool.
Mm-hmm. And
Young
then
Lean.
everyone just kind of hopped on the band.
And then we have the ridiculous Kodak Black. What's his full title?
Lil Kodak Black, the Finesse Kid.
The Finesse Kid. I mean, it's yeah. All right. Pick something else. What else we got here?
Have we foreshadowed the eggs?
No, and we're not going to foreshadow. I mean, you can see it right.
Let's give the people something to
look forward to at the end. So near the end, we're going to try out these preserved duck eggs that I purchased from a store a very long time ago for like $2. It contains egg, duck egg, water, sodium carbonate, salt, and tea from China. And we'll be trying that out later. It's from China. It's like actually imported from China. So those will be interesting. They're going to sit right here, and then we're going to look at those later.
I have something we can talk about.
Your Polaroid camera.
Yeah, so I invested in this Polaroid camera about a year ago. I got it at a thrift store for relatively cheap. Thrift Town. A lot of good things have happened at Actually, not too many good things have happened at Thrift Town. One of those, though, was this Polaroid
It's really
camera.
crowded in there. Always.
Yeah.
And they reorganized it, and there's not as much fun stuff. But yes, you have a Kodak camera. It's interesting, I guess.
And we took some Polaroids the other day.
Last night. That was a full 8-hour day. I counted it. We were there from 5 to 1 a.m.
So they're here.
You can't even see them from there, but they're good pictures. You can see them on Facebook.
I really like Polaroid cameras. I mean, I don't understand why these ever kind of went out of fat. Like, if vinyl
digital cameras came out.
I know, but if vinyl records are still around, I mean,
because it's not as practical because it's big. The ink or the cartridges with the paper is expensive, difficult to manufacture, I'm sure, and it's just they're bulky.
But you could say the same thing about like your turntable. I know a lot of people that have turntables and stuff.
Yeah, but that's something that you can use more in a recreational way, and there's so many more things to collect for. I don't know if it's fair to compare a device that plays back music to something that takes pictures.
I guess you could, because there's an argument about records, the form, the sound quality
is better. But a Kodak camera
is not better.
The picture quality. A Polaroid camera picture is not as good, but it's a very unique look that I like. But it's not optimal for any situation, really.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I guess the reason is just the reason to have one is just for retro
and
nostalgia,
if it works,
I guess.
That's good. Yeah.
While, I guess, a record player or tube amps or any other analog things kind of have sort of a practical purpose to them still,
yes.
Which makes them used.
Because we've stepped up from that camera in in quality of picture turntables I see as vinyl records, I see as like an alternative form of listening to the music rather than we've stepped up from it because people like the sound of it better, especially if the record had been mastered for analog. Then it's going to sound better than if you did analog to digital. But if you had something mastered in digital and put it onto records, it's not going to sound as good.
That makes me angry. I don't understand why
they do that.
I also don't. Wait, did you say analog to digital?
When something is mastered in digital, so anything made now is digitally done,
and then they
put it on a record, which doesn't make sense because it's going to sound worse. Because older albums were made to be put on a record. They're mastered to be put on a record, so naturally they're going to sound better when played through a turntable than if you converted that to digital and listened to it back. So that's, I see it more practical as an alternative to listen to music rather than for a Polaroid camera we've just stepped up from it. I don't see that as an alternative just because the pictures are small, you have to wait for them to develop and they don't look that good, but they have a nice look to it. But
it's neat though. Like on paper, the fact that you can take a picture and have a physical copy of said picture right away.
But it's also something to lose.
The physical
get damaged.
That's true because there's like if you lose the actual,
it's gone forever.
It's gone.
There's nothing you can do.
I mean, we have like the miracle of modern technology and scanning. But
yeah,
I guess
what if you're on a vacation? You never see him again.
Yeah, so I guess you're right. It's not practical, but it is cool.
It is still cool.
What a neat little thing.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about. We have some other boring music stuff here. Best music video of the '80s.
Peter Gabriel, Sledgehammer.
It's a very nice music video because it's very technologically advanced. Not really. It's
not
just
really,
cool.
But it took a lot of work.
It would have taken a long time because it was stop motion.
Stop motion
for
Peter Gabriel singing
3.5 minutes, 4 minutes, however long the song is. That was a good music video. I don't really know much of anything else. I like the music video for Down Under.
By who?
I don't remember. It's an Australian band. Men without hats.
Men with hats or men
without
hats?
I think it's without hats. It's a good music video. I like that one.
Rick Roll.
I don't like that one. I'm not a fan of Rick Roll at all. Just saying.
No,
I mean, it's okay. It's just really boring.
Well, every time I got Rickrolled, I liked it. Like, I don't understand why people didn't like getting Rickrolled, because I like the song.
Like, they get angry?
Yeah, like, oh my god. Like, the new Grand Theft Auto was coming out, and I got Rickrolled. Like, I would enjoy the Rickroll. I like that song.
It's characteristic of the era. But music video wise, it's not that good.
Can't even think of other music videos.
Yeah, we had Peter Gabriel.
Who watches music videos?
We had Phil Collins.
Did Money for Nothing come out in the 80s? It did.
It did. Oh, that's a good one too because it's yeah, because it was early computer animation. It looked terrible.
It looked awful. I mean, it wasn't that bad actually.
It was very blocky and jerky, but considering it was made as a music video, I think it was okay. It was interesting. It's still very interesting to look at.
But the rest of the part with the actual Dire Straits like performing, because they didn't have the resources to make
animate for the whole thing,
so they had to splice like just them performing.
But they still did something with it.
They did like
still
the rotoscope.
They like traced, which is still interesting.
It's overdone a little bit.
Yeah. It's a good music video. If you are looking for creativity, I still like Sledgehammer. You can't go wrong with Sledgehammer. Alright, best live performance.
Wow.
I don't know.
Well, it's going to be Yes.
For me, it's going to be Yes because that's the only band I've seen live, and they are very good.
We've never seen, like, taped live performance.
I don't like their taped live performances for Yes. There's only good ones.
Have you seen any others?
No, not really. I might have sat through something from Genesis.
I've seen.
Because when Peter Gabriel does his costumes, those are cool.
That would have been cool. I wish I had a chance to see that.
Yeah, I do like that. The costume thing, because it's almost like a play.
Yeah, it's more
with the
than
music. It's
like
interacting with the audience a little bit more. I like that. Because this music told more of a story than... And he made it tell a story, rather, with the people.
I don't really want to, but shall we get into the eggs?
I mean, we still have...
I don't know, but I'm kind of like, I feel like I'm putting off the egg. I feel like I need to get it over with. I'm not really looking forward to it.
It doesn't like, I don't know, that's fine. I'm not thinking about it, so it's fine. Come on, let's
I can't focus when you have these disgusting eggs sitting here. I don't want to eat that.
I mean, people eat them.
I know people eat them, but they're...
Usually you're supposed to, from what I read, you're supposed to eat them with something else.
But we're eating
supposed to eat them plain.
We're eating them plain.
But we're going to eat them plain.
Because why would you...
People find them disgusting when you eat them plain, but we're going to do that. So let's see what else we got here. Best supergroup. The only real supergroup I know of and care about is Emerson, Lake and Palmer, but...
Well, what were they
Emerson is
prior
dead.
To that?
Keith Emerson and the Nice.
Stupid. Awful.
I don't know the other ones. I really don't know the other ones, but... I'm sure there's other supergroups I like, but that's probably the best one.
I'll tell you what's the worst live performance.
What?
Like Pink Floyd's final concert.
When they're all dead? Just like...
Well, their reunion in South Africa.
That's right, you told me about that.
Out of all places, South Africa.
They went to South Africa, where all the Floyd fans obviously are.
Not England or
it would make sense
UK.
if they ended where they started, the UK.
I guess not. Most of these performed in a colony or something stupid. Anyways,
they started out, their first stuff was done underground, the UFO I think it was, and they did their psychedelic. It'd be nice if they ended there, but no, they had to go to South Africa.
And they played
like 2 songs, like 3 popular songs.
Wish You Were Here.
Which, I mean, aren't bad songs, but there's just, come on.
And like I said, every single band should do for their last... do what LCD Sound System did, where they rent out a giant, like Madison Square Garden, and they say, okay, we're going to perform to you every song we've ever made, and then they're done.
But I was saying that would kill them.
Because they're old,
like 80 years old.
Crusty
old men. But you could do what Phil Collins did after Peter Gabriel left, and in the live concerts he combined all their popular songs from the Peter Gabriel era and a few from his, and made one long 30-minute song that blends them all together, cool. And it's really good. It's a nice compilation of everything, and interspersed throughout that song is You Know What I Like in Your Wardrobe, that song, but throughout, because that was their first pop hit, and so they made sure to keep that theme throughout the long song, and there's like 2 versions of it, and it's good. So I don't know, I could have done that too, made a compilation, maybe used Echoes as a foundation since it's so long, and then combined a bunch of stuff and threw it in there. I don't know, could have done that. All right.
Like I know there's like punk outfits like Black Flag, G.G. Allen, those types of people. They do like their live concerts like they almost like die.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know anything about it, but
well,
sure.
Well, it's just like people die there. Like get concussions.
That sounds like a good time though. Okay.
Yeah, there was actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I remember there was a metal band, Norwegian black metal band. There was a lot of crazy stuff in the Norwegian black metal scene. I read all about it, but they like
specifically
had like
Norway or just that section of Europe?
No, like Norwegian.
Okay.
Well, I guess not necessarily, but that part of Europe, I guess.
Scandinavia. Yeah. Okay.
Well, they had like a mass suicide at a concert, and it like almost banned the music from the entire area. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but it's Europe. Who cares?
And there was the band Mayhem, which was this metal band, and they released a bootleg album of their songs, and on the album cover was their lead singer's suicide
picture. Yeah, you told me about that.
That is awesome.
Like a year ago.
That is excellent.
It's cool.
I mean, that's as metal
awful,
as you can get.
But it is cool.
It perfectly encapsulates the whole essence of the genre. Now, should we eat the
guilty
eggies?
Pleasures in music?
Phil Collins. Now, should we eat the eggs?
I also like, you said I should say Moby. Moby's good.
Moby's pretty bad.
But it's also good. Okay, so we're going to break the seal from the preserved duck eggs from Profusion.
Ugh. What if it's going to like stink up your room? It's going to like smell for days.
There's spray. Let's read the receipt real quick. Let's see how much I spent and when I got these. I got these on. I got it for $2.18 on. Where's the date? 3/2.
Why is there a sticky note that says you must eat?
Because I was gonna.
Trees.
I was gonna send this to somebody.
You would send it to Lucas.
No, I was gonna send it to Taj. I was gonna bring it, and I wanted him to eat it, but I forgot about it. So now it's here.
Now it's ours.
And now it's ours to eat. I got this in the second. What's February 12th of this year. So let's we got some paper towels here to
I don't want to like spill duck eggs everywhere.
It's this way.
Okay.
We have our little. That's gonna fall. That's fine. Okay. All right. So we have the foam, which is perfectly cut out to fit the eggs. And there they are. They almost look fake.
There's 6 eggs.
There's 6 eggs in this one. They're in these individually wrapped.
Let me hold it. Oh my god.
Take a look.
I'm like nervous.
I'll take one right here. There's the eggs. All right. So I'm going to give you.
So this is like hard actually. Like the shell is
like
still,
you peel it. Yeah.
Like a hard-boiled egg.
Yes, but I think it comes off a little bit easier.
I'm gonna eat this egg on what record is this?
Happy the Man.
Happy the Man will be my plate of choice.
I'm going to use the computer keyboard. Hopefully I don't press anything.
I don't want to open this. I'm gonna wait for you to open it.
We'll just see how it goes here. I know
you should probably crack it in the thing.
That's a good point. We'll just give it a little
I already ruined my ability to do that. Just in case it's yolky. It's not yolky, is it?
No, it's solid. It's like congealed. Yeah.
Oh, is that it? Am I smelling that?
I don't really smell anything.
Let me see. Oh yeah, I smell it. It just smells like vague
tuna fish.
Yeah. I don't want to.
Okay, well, you have to get the microphone nice and near the action.
Ew.
I kind of don't want to touch it. I should have got like hand sanitizer in here or something.
It's fine.
But hey, people eat it, so
yeah.
So
people
it doesn't
in
kill.
Japan eat it.
No, it's China.
Oh, China.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, this product was imported from China. So
same thing.
It's the same country.
It smells like.
It's black. It's like.
It's not.
It's
like
not
rotten egg.
It's like.
But it smells like slightly off egg.
I say it kind of smelled like tuna. Almost.
Sorry about that.
It's very black. I like how the eggs look though. They look kind of cool.
Yeah. Oh, mine's not really that pretty as yours.
You know, there's a layer that you peel off over it, and then it turns. Yeah, it's like the skin.
I punctured it. It's disgusting. This is the worst egg.
What are you anticipating? I don't know. I don't remember. I watched a video on it. I don't remember anything.
Smelling bad. Is it smelling bad for you?
I'm not smelling anything.
Well, I'm like.
Because I have it at a distance from.
I have egg goop.
Yeah, so do I.
Ew.
Eesh.
Gross.
Okay, there it is.
I don't want this. I can't eat this.
You're gonna have to take a bite.
No, seriously, I can't eat this.
Are you sure? It smells like poopy, actually.
I'll eat it if you eat it. I'll totally eat it if you put a good chunk in your mouth.
Okay, we have water.
That's not gonna help.
We have... People eat this. People eat this. Who is calling me? Well, that's copyrighted music. We can't do that.
God damn it, Ryan.
Okay.
Yeah.
You take I'll do it the same. I didn't taste anything. Take a. Come on, it's not that bad. Just swallow it. Just swallow it.
No, it's too late.
Just spit it out on your paper towel.
It's disgusting.
It's fine. You can't even see it in the screen. It's almost kind of metallic. It's fine. Just swallow it. Just drink it down.
I I need to get out of this room. I can't.
What am I supposed to do? I took a bite of it.
I did too.
I swallowed it. It's kind of metallic-y.
I don't like it.
It's kind of metallic-y, huh?
Mm-hmm. It's also gross.
I'm not going to take another bite of it.
No. Can we end the show so I can...
No. Just sit back
Okay,
down.
I swallowed it.
Take a drink of water.
My hands are dirty.
Just ignore it. Ugh.
Ew.
What would you review the preserved duck egg?
Absolutely gross.
You think so?
It doesn't actually taste that. It's just my mind.
Because it's black,
Mm-hmm.
and I've never had it before,
Mm-hmm.
and it's from China, and it's an obscure food.
It just tastes like a mushy boiled egg.
And it's kind of metallic.
Got a metallic taste to it.
It's kind of metallic-y. I can't answer the phone. It's done. Would you give it a... Do you think it would be good if we mixed it with something? I don't know. There's some traditional... There's some sort of traditional meal that is some mush
It's
served in.
sitting right there next to me, and I really don't want to look at it, but I can't help it.
It's not going to kill you.
I know it's not going to kill me, but I don't
I mean,
want
what are we going to do with these
Give them to your parents.
4 eggs that we have left over?
Give them to the homeless. Feeding the homeless.
Here's a preserved duck egg. I hope you enjoy this preserved duck egg.
Oh, God, it's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
You
I'm
made
making it bad.
worse than it was.
Well, it just doesn't look like something you eat.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I looked at it while I ate it, and I don't think that it was a blind taste
How
test.
big was the bite?
It was just... I mean, it's small. I mean...
Mine was pretty small.
But...
It didn't really taste like anything until after. It was just like metallic-y. It smells like poop.
I don't want it. I don't want this anymore. I've had a bad experience.
You've had a bad experience over. The eggs have ended the show. Let's so long.